Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at the game that released a couple of weeks ago, Honkai Star Rail. This is a unique game, a turn-based game, and it's an RPG. I think it's a great game for you to get into, but remember it's Hoyoverse, so that means it's a casual live service game. They are the kings at it, and it cannot be underestimated how much fun you can have if you treat it as such. This game is not a sweaty try-hard, it's a game for you to enjoy as you go along. The storyline, the characters, they all have unique backgrounds, something that you can look into. Some of them have their own story quests as you go through the game, and we'll maybe look into some of those, but I believe I've already completed the ones that are available to me now. Me personally, I've been playing this since just after launch. I didn't play it when it first came out because I was a little busy, and I took a look at some of the content creators out there to see what they thought of the game and their initial thoughts. But then I thought, let me give it a try, let's see how well I get on with it, and this is where we are. So without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. So the first thing I want to talk about here is the art. The art is what it is. You know what you're getting. This is Hoyoverse. They're going to give you the Breath of the Wild outer outline anime style graphic design. I think it goes well for the type of game that they're looking to inherit and the type of game they're trying to create. I feel like this game is a contribution, or a combination more like, between the Honkai Impact third that they had going on, because some of the characters are from there, such as Bronya, Seele or Zile as it's pronounced in this game. Welt is also from that game, no spoilers, but he is in it. Furthermore, I also do think that the game is a cross between the characters you've got in there and the kind of the playstyle and animations you find in Honkai and Genshin Impact, and they're kind of combined with something along the lines of Exos Hero, which is turn-based, or even Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Apologies. But what I will say is there is a uniqueness to it. Some of the fact that I'm a Genshin Impact player, I was expecting elemental reactions. There's none of that. This is all about shield break and maximum damage when you hit that point. Your team composition is hugely important because you can't necessarily just one bang everything whenever you get into it. But what I do like about this game is that it's easy to learn. It doesn't take a lot of reading, it doesn't take a lot of information. I'm not a turn-based individual. I am traditionally just a regular RPG, action RPG, or online gamer, or a real-time strategy game player. So I think this is a very interesting turn for me, and the fact that I've enjoyed it to the point that we're at now, I'm really excited to see where this game can go, and I look forward to making some content on this. So the next thing I want to talk about is the storyline. The storyline is your main protagonist. It's nothing too fancy. All you're trying to do here is you're taking your trailblazer who doesn't know who he is, where he's come from, and you're kind of pushing him out and going along the journey with him to kind of figure out what he's doing next. What is the Stellaron? Where does it come from? Why is he linked to it? And I think it's an interesting take, but what I will say, it's been done before. The protagonist, the Genshin Impact traveler, don't know where I am, I'm looking for my sibling. It's happened. However, what I really enjoy about this game, and it's a huge plus, it's been talked about loads before, is no Paimon. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the dialogue isn't long, but it's skippable and it's not repeatable by Paimon repeating and instigating everything you need to say. I think Paimon would be there just as a nice little pet, as you do get in that Genshin game, but I don't think she's necessarily necessary. But there's a lot of threads about who Paimon actually is and why she's so interested in the Traveller. But nonetheless, if you like story content and you like PvE content, be sure to check the game out. It has a lot to offer, and we're just in the first stages. I've not personally completed the third region in the game that's currently available right now, or technically you could class it as the second region, right? However, there is still lots to do, and there's plenty of resources that I'm still yet to farm. Moving on to character progression and development, I think the game has a good aspect to it. I think that it's quite easy for you to figure out what you need and where you can get it from. All you do is you click on the what you're looking to upgrade, and it will just tell you where it is. The one thing I will say is that is it the fuel? I don't know what they call it in this. The Trailblazer fuel that kind of helps you do the domains and the challenges and things like that. I think it could be way more readily available. However, in the game itself, there's a massive bottleneck. There is a huge range of characters out right now. Everybody's FOMOing. I did it. I've got Japard here at level 50. I've got Trailblazer here at level 50. I've got Saval here at level 40, but I could take her up. But do I have the resources to really do that? Do I want to carry on working on all of these things? I could upgrade this, but I also need these, right? So there's a lot of things to think about when you're doing the game. And I think it's interesting that they've decided to take it this way. But this is also something we saw in Genshin. When Genshin first came out, everyone said, don't level up all your games. All the beta testers said, do not level up all your characters. Focus on one, focus on two whenever you need to. But really build that one and kind of draw a team around it. Now, what I will say is the main character, the MC, the Trailblazer, whoever you decide to call him, the fire version, when you get him, and you get him pretty quickly, so it's not a spoiler, is pretty awesome. But I'm not really sure how much you want to invest in him or her, depending on what you've decided to do. The reason behind that is I think that there's going to be a whole host of characters. We've seen the banners that are predicted and most likely to come out, and it looks like the recent short that came out from Hoyoverse kind of pushes us in the direction of where they want this to go. I FOMO'd. There is no denying that. I FOMO'd hard. I tried to get Zila, but I think I'm about 50 or 60 deep after losing the 50-50 and getting Japard. I still haven't got her, so now I'm leaving her, and we're going to go for who we think might be the best character. So just be sure. That leads me quite nicely onto the next part of the game. The main part of most Hoyoverse games is in actual fact their banners, the characters, the character design, what they can do. Are they meta per se? But this is a PvE game. This is a game where they've not really said anything too much about PvP, competitiveness, or anything that you really want to get sweaty, try hard, and push really, really hard. Now, we don't know how difficult the PvE content is really going to get later on in the game, but we've seen some inklings of that already with some of the things with some of the Abyss levels and some of the Abyss type content and simulated universe. However, I still don't think that this is something you need to really push for. You don't need to FOMO. I would honestly say it's a free-to-play game. Don't push your wallet. You can save. If you save hard enough, if you manage to kind of grind and push as hard as you can from the beginning, I think there's something like 20 to 25,000 Stellar Jade available. Maybe more. I don't actually know. I never really push it that hard. I casually game this. I casually play this game. Apologies for that. And that's kind of where I leave it. I'm not someone who's married to any particular kind of game, but I do enjoy this game. I think it's fun. I think it's different. I don't really do turn-based RPGs, but here we are and we're talking about it. So if you got Zila, congrats, I'm happy for you. If you're like me and you've probably dropped over 100 wishes, I don't know. Let's take a quick look. How many wishes did I drop? Oh, warps in this, sorry. Let's see. As you can see, I did some today or yesterday. Oh god. Oh, this is depressing me. Oh no. Okay, so I got Japard here. So where are we at? 150, 160, 170. No, that's not right. I can't count. That's 100 right there. So I've dropped 100 pulls into this, 100 warps into this. I've used Stellar Jade. As you can see, I've only got 500 and I was going to save. So there is luck. If you're going to spend money, it's going to cost you money. You need to guarantee 180 pulls. That's a lot of Stellar Jade. So just be wary of that. Do what you think is right. Do what you want to do. It doesn't seem like it's a game that's going to be hugely challenging. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a game that's PvP meta driven. And it isn't technically pay to win. From what I can see, you can do all the content with the free 4 stars and the Trailblazer you get right at the beginning. You don't even have to push the beginner banner. So really up to you, but the amount of kind of warps that they've given you so far has been pretty good. You cannot argue with that. The final thing that I want to talk about is the amount of content that's in the game. Now, when you first start any game, it always seems like there's loads of content, loads of things to do. As we can see here, we've got the simulator universe. Now, this is a farmable version, and it resets weekly by the looks of it, as we've got the 3-day counter here, and you get all these rewards all over again, provided you finish this. Now, as you can see, I haven't progressed far enough to get to the 5k limiter mark, so I'm maxing out at 3500, but I'm not going to push this game too hard. I don't want to ruin the experience. I've seen too many content creators go super hard on the game, and then it seems like they've run out of things to do. However, if that's how you want to play the game, who am I to stop you? But personally, this is a casual game for me. Diablo 4 beta is out tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 11th of May. God knows when this is going to go out, but the chances are I'm going to be wanting to play that super hard, because when I played it the last time, I didn't get the chance. My PC wasn't great. So let's hope that we can do it then. Now, the final thing that I want to talk, the last thing that about this is, be sure to make sure that you use kind of your resources wisely. You know, don't really go for the relics element. Do your main stuff, ascensions and things like that. A lot of the free kind of relics that they give you are amazing, just for leveling up, just for completing certain contents or hitting certain points of the story mode. If you're lucky and you get some good RNG, perfect. But don't stress over it. Don't go blasting your Stellar Jade. I've not used any of the Trailblazer fuel, so I think when it comes down to me actually needing to do this or wanting to do this and kind of really min-maxing a particular character, I think I'll be hopefully be in a good position. But it is RNG based. So that's my initial thoughts of the game. There were a few tips in there. It was unintentional. This is the first time I'm doing a video in this format. This is the first review I've done of a game like this with a new thumbnail style. I hope you like it. Let me know your thoughts. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting a new account. I want to use just the free characters. I want to be able to clear all the content in the game with just the free characters that they give you as part of the game progression. I believe that you can get pretty much every particular element available with the exception of imaginary, but we don't know what future events held. If there is an imaginary character that comes out and I have enough to go for it, I may do, but I want to predominantly get through a lot of the content without having to do any kind of summoning, warps, wishes, whatever you want to call it. I think what I will do is I will play that game on the side. I will play that account on the side, and I'll probably document that one a lot more than I document the main one that you're currently seeing now. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call that account, but let's see when we get there. Anyway, as this video's kind of run on long enough, it's gone on longer than I expected it to be. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the game. Are you enjoying it? Have you found that you're bottlenecked in a lot of your content, or that you've run out of things to do? I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Also, any tips that you've got for me on kind of character compositions. Have you done the full free-to-play experience and only used the free characters? And who are you waiting for if you have done that? But as always, if you've liked the video, drop it a like, drop the channel a subscribe. I am looking to try and get to at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I'm going to try my best to be more consistent with my uploads. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone.